Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you some booktubers that I subscribed to in 2021. Alright, so I did this same video last year and I absolutely loved reflecting back on the year and some of the new booktubers that I subscribed to that year. And so I wanted to do it again this year and just kind of bring attention to some of the booktubers, people that are, whether they were new in the book community or I just discovered them in the book community this year. And so, yeah, I have 13 booktubers to share with you today, so I'm just going to get into it. All of these ladies' channels will be linked down below, and yeah, let's just go. So, the first booktuber that I want to talk about is Amy Bowman. Amy is I think, middle school, junior high English teacher, and she has a channel where she talks a lot about she reads contemporary, she reads middle grade and YA, and Christian fiction, and she just kind of reads a very wide array of things, and I really appreciate her input on books, and especially I know she has a book subscription box with an indie bookstore, and so I always appreciate seeing kind of what she gets in that as well, and I just think she is such a lovely person, and so yeah, she's the first one that I want to talk about. Another booktube channel that's new to me, I was turned on to this channel by Lindsay, who is one of my friends. She found this channel and said, hey, you got to go check this girl out. And so I did. And that channel is Bandy's Books. The videos that I love the most from Bandy's Books are her recipe and book videos. She is a professional chef, and so she will take a book, and not anything food related, as far as the book goes, and then she'll find a food that is mentioned in the book and then make a recipe based off of that. And so she's done, I think, Where the Crawdads Sing. I want to say The Midnight Library, but I don't remember. She's done a few different ones though, and all of her food looks so good, and she's easy to follow, and I just absolutely love it. But she also does like book hauls and recommendations and things like that as well. So definitely go check her out. All right, the next one that I have on this list is Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia. I found her really early in the year. I think Chantel at An Intentional Life had mentioned her, and so I went and checked her out, and I have just fallen in love with Tiffany. She is such a sweet, calming presence. She's so kind, and she reads a lot of classics, a lot of Russian literature, but also just a very wide array of things, and I really appreciate her and appreciate her perspective on what she's reading. She's a homeschool mama, and so she'll be reading things with her daughter, and she reads some Christian nonfiction as well, and so I love hearing her perspective on that. She's a pastor's wife, and so she has definitely a much more theological mindset when it comes to things, and so yeah, go check out Tiffany for sure. Another one that I want to mention is Gloria from Gloria Z Thompson. Gloria is one that Krista actually recommended, and I went and subscribed to her right away and never looked back. I have since just kind of gotten to know Gloria a little bit better, and I adore her. She reads a lot of nonfiction and a lot of historical fiction, and I think her family owns like a beekeeping farm, and so she's really into bees, and she's really into puzzling, and so I've definitely grown to appreciate that and her puzzle hauls that she has done, and yeah, I love her love and appreciation for the nonfiction and the historical fiction, because I definitely we have a lot of crossover when it comes to those two genres, and so yeah, and she again is one that has a very just like calming presence about her, just a very soft spoken voice. I do not have that, and so I feel like I'm attracted to that in other booktubers, because I feel like I'm so loud sometimes that I need that calming presence in my life, and so yeah, she is one that I would definitely recommend checking out. Another booktuber that I found is Becca from Hicks Books. She's another teacher. that has a booktube channel, and she reads a very wide array of things. She reads classics, but also like thrillers and a lot of Christian fiction. She's just started dabbling a little bit into historical fiction, which I love. And yeah, she does read a little bit of YA because she was teaching in that age range. I believe she's a middle school teacher, maybe middle school or high school, lit and social studies, I think. And so I might be making that up. I may be wrong, but I think that's what it is. And so yeah, I love her creativity. She has a lot of creativity with some of her videos, and yeah, so definitely go check out Becca as well. All right, the next one on my list is one that I found fairly recently, and I love watching her videos, and that is Mitzi from Mitzi Reads and Writes. Her accent, you guys, she is from Kentucky, and you can tell, and I am here for it. As someone with a very like Midwestern accent, she has got the Southern accent, and I love it. She reads a lot of classics, and just I love it. She also participated, I know, in Historathon, and read some historical fiction, and I love listening to her more than anything, guys. I cannot even. I think she's just a beautiful person all around, and yeah, so go give one of her videos a check out. All right, the next one that I want to talk about is Mama Lee Ellen's Book Nook. She has a booktube channel. I don't know if she posts on there anymore, to be completely honest. She was posting a little bit. She was doing lives, and I haven't seen her post in quite a while, but she's very active on Bookstagram, and I love her. She definitely is in, like, she reads very similar to me, where she reads some YA, mostly adult, a lot of historical fiction, and she really gets into it. She has a book club where she reads like one book of the month pick each month for her book club, and then she has a historical fiction book club where they pick one historical fiction book to read each month, and then they have discussions with the author, I believe, like on a Zoom chat or something along those lines. So if that's something that sounds up your alley, go ahead and check her out. But she is so sweet. I have just so loved getting to just get into her Bookstagram, and we've DM'd back and forth a few times, but she's just a sweet, sweet, sweet lady. And so yeah, definitely Mama Lee Ellen's Book Nook. All right, and then I have two that have very similar names but very different personalities, very different channels. One is Ponytails and Paperbacks, and the other one is Paperbacks and Ponytails. So yeah, and I had subscribed to one, and then Keisha from A Book Like You was talking about another one, and I'm like, I thought I was subscribed, but that doesn't sound like the right name. And so yeah, I found out that it's actually two different people, but they're both fantastic. So check them both out. Paperbacks and Ponytails. Sorry, I have to get them right. Paperbacks and Ponytails. She reads a lot of Christian fiction, and is definitely more soft-spoken, and drinks a lot of tea, and really enjoy her videos. And then Ponytails and Paperbacks, she just started her channel like last month maybe, but she is very high energy, and I am here for it. She is a trip. She's so funny. Love her so much. And she reads more like thrillers and contemporary and things like that. So yeah, both of them great, but very similar channel names. All right, another one that I have that I subscribed to this year that I have been adoring is Rebecca of Wilson Hill, and she is once again a very calming presence. She doesn't post a lot. She posts consistently, but not like overkill a lot. But whenever I see one of her videos in my feed, it's like an automatic watch because I just adore her. She likes she does a lot of planner stuff. So if you're into like the plan with me's and that sort of thing, she definitely does that. But she reads a lot of middle grade because she homeschools, but also Christian fiction and just like contemporary and fantasy and just a very wide array of things. But we have very similar reading tastes, I feel like. And so I've just really enjoyed watching what I can of her channel. All right. Another one that I subscribed to early in the year that she is just the jack of all trades, that is Tara from Recovering Book Hoarder. She just does a little bit of everything and I love it. She has created her own TBR game that is very intricate. I like definitely commend her for that, but she has these huge TBRs every month and she is just chugging through those books, and she reads she is probably one of the most diverse readers that I have seen on BookTube. She just reads a huge variety of nonfiction, middle grade, YA, fantasy, thriller, like historical fiction. She doesn't care. She'll read all of it. But she also does like cross stitch and crocheting and coloring books, and she just does all of it. And she's so much fun because she just is into so many things. And yeah, I definitely I envy that because I'm into like 2 things and it's overwhelming for me. So all the props to her. All right, and then another one that I found recently is Secondhand Reader. She reads a lot of horror and thrillers, but she reads a lot of contemporary and things like that as well, YA fantasy and stuff. But I mean, obviously her channel name is what drew me to her, and I love her personality and just her demeanor, and she's getting just kind of new into BookTube a little bit, but I really like her vibe. And I don't read a lot of thrillers or horror. Like, I know she's really into Stephen King and all of that, which is not my cup of tea, but I'm in for the thrift hauls and just seeing like what she finds. And I also, like I said, I know she reads a lot of like contemporary and just like not as much literary fiction, but romance here and there, and some just like general fiction books as well. And so yeah, I just really enjoyed getting to watch some of her videos because yeah, I love her vibe, like I said. And then the last one that I have on this list is another fairly new channel that I just started watching, and that is What Brings Karina Joy. Karina is another pastor's wife. I think they live in Texas, like close to the ocean. And so she reads a lot of Christian fiction, but also just she has recently rediscovered reading, and it's so much fun listening to her experience all these different genres, and she just reads all the things and is in to experience all of it. And so I think she had been reading like primarily Christian fiction for a really long time, and now she's like getting to where she's like wanting to dip her toe in other things. And it's so much fun listening to her rant and rave about some backlist books that a lot of us have experienced, and she's just getting to experience them for the first time. And so that's so much fun. She's another homeschool mom and has a lot of kids, and so that's fun too. But yeah, so anyway, those are all of the booktubers that I subscribe to this year. I will say I have really enjoyed each of these channels and their videos. I may not watch every single one, but I watch enough of them to where I can tell that they just bring so much to the book community and add so much to the community. And yeah, so I hope that you guys all go check them out. Like I said, everybody will be linked down below in the description box, so definitely give them a chance. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me for today. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you stick around and subscribe, and until next time, see ya.